Hey, Jocelyn with Wolters World, and we are just wrapping up a 2-week trip through Iceland, and it has been an incredible journey with the kids. And so I wanted to do a little video on things to see and do with your kids in Iceland. We did 2 weeks driving the entire circle, so we kind of hit a little bit of everything. We have seen glaciers, waterfalls, icebergs. We got to pet a puffin and feed baby birds that had been rescued on the Westman Islands. We have hiked lava fields and gorges, and we watched whales. We have seen shipwreck. We've gone horseback riding. This is like nature's Disneyland. It's just incredible for kids. There's so much to do and see. There's a lot of education, but it's also just a lot of fun. You just stop somewhere, get out and start hiking for an hour or two. When they're tired, get back in the car, they sleep, and you drive to the next place. It's been awesome. Iceland is also really family friendly. Kids eat for free. Almost every guest house that we stayed at, the kids got free breakfast, and if they didn't have free breakfast, it was half price. But there are some things that you should know about coming to Iceland, even in the winter. It's the end of July now, and I don't know, it's maybe 50 degrees, and it's windy. So you kind of got to pack for winter weather. We brought boots for the kids. We ended up buying jackets here because I thought that puffy vests and a couple layers of long sleeves would be enough. It wasn't. So we ended up buying jackets here, which will end up being their winter jackets, but be prepared for that. Museums are typically free for kids, usually under the age of 18, but some are like 12 and under. And there's always a discount if it's not free for the kids. Everyone here speaks really great English. We haven't had problems. I mean, even in the farthest reaches of the country, everyone spoke English, and they were really great with our kids. So most towns have swimming pools. Even like little villages of like 200 people will have swimming pools with great water slides, and they're all heated, and it's usually like geothermal heat, so there's no chlorine, and it's not salt water, and it's really easy on kids' skin. There are also geothermal hot pots throughout the country, like the Blue Lagoon, for instance, and we took the kids to a couple of them, and they absolutely loved it. It's like swimming in a giant hot tub, and it's so much fun. They really enjoyed that. When you go to the Westman Islands, which you absolutely have to do if you have kids, they have an aquarium / bird sanctuary where they rescue different birds, but they have a puffin that lives there. He had been rescued, and the kids got to hold him and pet him, and they got to feed little tiny baby birds, and it was just such a great experience. It's something you would never get to do anywhere else. So one thing you have to know, to get around Iceland, if you're going to leave Reykjavik at all, you're going to have to rent a car, and you're going to do some heavy-duty driving. I mean, most places are only 3 to 4 hours apart, but some of the driving's pretty insane, like gravel mountain roads and crossing fjords that are covered in clouds. So your kids have to be aware that there are times when they have to be just absolutely silent so you can get through things quickly. One of the things that we had our kids do was play the waterfall game, and they counted waterfalls throughout the whole country. I have no idea how many hundreds that we're finally up to. Somewhere close to probably 300, but it was a really fun game, kept them going, kept them occupied while we were trying to drive. So with the car stuff, make sure that you bring your car seats. We actually have our car seats on something called baby go-go's, and they're just wheels and a telescoping handle that attaches. So we can just drag the kids and or their car seats around with us through airports and stuff. It makes traveling with a car seat so much easier than lugging those big, huge, heavy things around. But you'll need those. You'll need, just the regular games and stuff. You can watch my video on what to pack in a kid's backpack to keep them occupied. So pretty much all the outdoor activities that parents can do, like kayaking, horseback riding, and hiking and whatnot, they have versions for kids, or you can just sort of make up your own version and go trek out on your own, something easy for the kids to do. To go whale watching, you want to go to Húsavík and Akureyri. They're both up in the north. We ended up going just to Akureyri for time's sake, but we spent 3 hours on the boat, and we probably watched whales for 2 hours of that, and it was just incredible. The kids loved every minute of it. Iceland is super safe. They have a really, really low crime rate, and what crime there is just like petty theft or things like that. We have felt welcome and comfortable and completely at ease everywhere we've been in this country. So as you drive, there aren't necessarily a lot of towns to stop at, so you might want to pack up some snacks. Like when you leave Reykjavik, after you get off the plane or something, stop by a grocery store and get some snacks and just have snacks and juice boxes and things in the car for the kids, because there aren't a lot of places to stop. Reykjavik is the largest city, and it's about 300,000 in the metro area, and the second city is Akureyri, and it's only 17,000, I think. So everything else you see is going to be pretty small, and it's limited options sometimes for food and drink and things like that. Speaking of food, our kids went crazy eating fresh trout and salmon. They love the fish. There's lots of fish and lamb.
Skier.
And skyr. Skyr is this wonderful yogurt. It's sort of like a Greek yogurt. It's strange yogurt, and it's wonderful. The kids have, I think we've eaten at least twice a day, every day that we've been here, and we're totally not sick of it yet. Something you really need to be aware of when you're traveling through Iceland in the summer is that it's almost 24 hours of light. The sun sets at 12:15 at night, and it comes up at 3:30 in the morning. So you kind of just get some twilight. So blackout curtains are helpful, but you may need masks or something to keep your kids asleep. God knows our kids haven't been to sleep before midnight any night we've been here. So sleep is a little bit difficult with all the light. It's kind of tough. In the fall, in the spring, you're more likely to have a lot more darkness, and you've got the northern lights, which would be amazing to see with kids. They would it's nature's light show. It would be awesome. But you also have very little daylight in that, so you might not be able to see quite as much stuff. So it's kind of a give and take sort of thing. So if you want to know more about traveling with kids or visiting Iceland, please check out our website, woltersworld.com. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the social medias. Check us out, subscribe and like us today, and we really appreciate it. Have fun traveling with your kids.